Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to add custom wigs to your Roblox GFX, and I will also be showing you how to set them up in Blender with nodes so they do not have like the little black lines some of the wigs have now. But first, before this video begins, please make sure, if you have not yet, to watch my full Blender 2.8 GFX tutorial. This isn't a GFX tutorial, it's more of a how to use a wig tutorial. It's kind of building on the tutorial that we already did before, so if you have not yet, please be sure to watch that. I will have it linked in the info card in the top right corner, so please be sure to watch that video. And also, please be sure to leave a big thumbs up if you are excited for this video, and we will just get started. So first, we are going to be starting in a Roblox Studio. I am going to go to my load character plugin and just load the character that I want to add a wig to. When using the load character plugin, please be sure to click the spawn at origin box so it has a little X right here. This makes sure that your character and its accessories spawn in the center of Blender. And also make sure you click spawn R6, because some people have clicked spawn R15 and it makes their textures mess up in Blender, where the shirt and the pants and all the different things go to the wrong places. You don't want that, so we want to click spawn R6. We're just going to click that and load our character in. Like I said, this is not a full GFX tutorial, so I am just going to go on my Explorer on the right side and delete everything that we are not going to need for this tutorial. Since we are only doing a wig tutorial, I am only going to keep the head of my character, so I will delete everything else. I still have my Bloxy's outfit on from earlier today, so I apologize for that. I am also going to delete my hair and my accessories. You can keep any accessories that you want. I will actually keep this accessory really quick, so that can be an example. Next, to get your wig, you are going to want to go to the toolbox on the left side of Roblox Studio. If you do not have a toolbox, I will show you how to open it really quick. On the top of Blender, you are going to click View, and then right here, there are lots of options of different windows you can open. We are going to click Toolbox and it'll open on the left side. Next, we are just going to look up wig. You can look up any sort of variety of the word to find different wigs. So you can look up short wigs, aesthetic wigs, anything you want really. You can find lots of different wigs. Usually I will use these ones, so I'm just going to take this out and pick a wig that I like. When you are using a wig, if you find them like this with all the different pieces, we are going to have to delete all the extra pieces, so I'll be showing you guys how to do that. So first, we are going to pick a wig that we like. Since this is just a tutorial, I'm just going to pick a random wig that'll be good for the tutorial, so maybe we'll do this one. So I'll just pull this to the side really quick. And now what we can do is we can go out a little bit using our W, A, S, and D keys and just drag to select all the pieces that we don't need and hit delete on our keyboard to get rid of them. Or you can right click on one of them just like this and select delete. Just like that, and now they're all gone. So we are going to bring this wig over, and then what I am going to do is I'm going to click this, go to the top of Roblox Studio and click Model, and then go to Rotate, and I am just going to rotate this wig around so it is facing the right way and lined up with my character's head. And now we are going to be deleting all the extra pieces. So this will be helpful to have your Explorer on the right. If you do not know how to open your Explorer, you can just do it the same way we opened our toolbox, going to the top where it says View and selecting Explorer. I'm also going to X out my properties because we will not need that right now. So I am going to click on my wig and it'll show it on the right side in the Explorer. It has all these different things. So what I am going to do is click on my wig and click Control U, and that is ungroup. So we are going to ungroup this until we find the pieces that we need. See, now it's 2 pieces, so we need to find which one we need to delete. So how I do this is I actually click on the wig and drag it away. And as you can see, we don't need this piece, so we can just click on this and hit delete on our keyboard, or right click and delete, whichever you prefer. Just like that, and we are going to do the exact same thing. So we are going to click Control U on our keyboard to ungroup. and then we are going to drag the wig away, and here's an extra piece we don't need, so we are just going to click it and click delete. Gonna take the wig again. What we are going to do, click it and click Ctrl-U for ungroup, drag the wig away, and we can delete these pieces because we don't need them. You can keep the headband if you want to and put it on the wig, whatever you want to do, but I just want the wig. So we are just going to drag over this and delete all this, and we are left with the wig. So now what we need to do is to drag it onto our character's head. So I am just going to use the arrows in a Roblox Studio and drag it until it lines up. Just like this. It kind of takes some trial and error, but I think that is pretty good. Maybe just a little bit more to this side, a little bit more this way. Just a little bit. Like I said, it takes a couple seconds to line it up, but there we go. Now the wig is on our character. Now it is time to export our character's head and the wig. So what I am going to do, as with all of my tutorials, I am going to go to my desktop and make a folder. So I'm going to right click, go to new folder, and name it whatever you want to. Just name it something you'll remember. So I'm going to name it Wig Tutorial and just drag it to the center of my desktop. And now we have something to export to. So I'm going to go back into Roblox Studio, and first I'm going to export the character's head and then the wig. So I'm going to click the character's head. It'll be labeled as, just your normal character username on the right, as you can see. So I'm going to right click that, export selection, and then find the folder that we made on our desktop right here. And I'm just going to name this head and accessories. You can name this whatever you want, just make sure you name it something that you remember. I'm just going to save that, and next we are going to be saving the wig. Sometimes on the right side it'll be a model, and sometimes it'll just be a part. You can just click in your Roblox Studio and make sure you have it selected, just like that. Sometimes wigs will be in multiple pieces, so make sure in your Explorer to select all the pieces. You can select multiple pieces by clicking a piece and then clicking another piece with Control. And as you can see, you can highlight multiple pieces. So just make sure you have all your wig pieces selected. We are going to right click that and select Export Selection. Now this is our wig tutorial folder. What you want to do is make a new folder inside this folder just to keep all our textures separate. So I'm going to right click, New Folder, and I'm just going to name this Wig. Open that up, and I'm going to save the wig OBJ in here just as wig. Whatever you want to save it as, just make sure it's something you remember. Hit enter, and we are done. So we are all done in Roblox Studio, so we can exit out. You can save the base plate if you want to. And now we are going to be setting up our hair color. So how I will usually do this, I will open up my folder where I save the wig. So this is my wig tutorial folder and wig. I'm going to go to view at the top and make it so we can see the textures right here. So I am going to right click this, just like this, and go to open with and select paint.net or whatever editing program that you want to use. This is how we change the color of the wig, because sometimes when it exports from Roblox Studio, it'll turn the wig black and white. And we don't really want that, especially if you want a different, color, something colorful. So we are going to be changing that. We are going to go up to the top in paint.net, go to adjustments, and select curves. And we're just going to kind of bend these around to get the color that we want. So if you just want white or black hair, you can just change this one just like this. Or if you want it to be colored, what we are going to do is we are going to go up here where it says transfer map and go to RGB. And then you can kind of move these around to get different colors. It is trial and error because it is a black and white image, but as you can see, if you move them around a little bit where you uncheck the boxes at the bottom, you can get different colors. So really, like I said, it's just trial and error. So I would recommend unchecking the boxes at the bottom and checking different ones and trying to get the color that you want. See, here we got some blue, or if we uncheck that, I believe we can also get some different colors. Here's some green, and if we uncheck that, we can go to red and get a red hair color. So really, it's just trial and error with unchecking the boxes at the bottom and checking different ones and just moving it around to get the color that you want. So I think we are going to go with a red hair color, so I'm just going to undo everything I just did, and I'm going to uncheck red and drag this down. And as you can see, we get a red hair color. So there we go. I'm just going to drag it up a little bit, not take it too far, and hit OK. And there we go. Now in the top left corner, we are going to go to File and hit Save. Just like that, to save our file, and we are going to hit OK, and that is it. So now we can X out of paint.net, and now we are ready to go to Blender. So we are just going to double click Blender and open that up, and what we are going to be doing in Blender is we are going to be adding in our character head, our wig, and I will be showing you guys how to fix the problem where sometimes you have like black strands throughout the wig where it's supposed to be transparent. I will show you guys how to fix that. So first, let me Ctrl-Z a little bit, get a normal Blender file because I went a little bit too fast. I'm going to delete the cube. If you are using a rig, obviously your Blender won't look like this, it'll have the rig, but I'm just doing something really quick, so I'm not going to be using a rig today. We are going to go to the top left corner of Blender. We are going to click File, click Import, and then select wavefront.obj. Then we are going to find the folder where we saved our rig. So on the left side, you can see lots of your recent folders and also your desktop right here. I'm going to click Desktop, then go to Wig Tutorial, and then I'm going to open my head and accessories by double clicking it. Now I'm going to open my wig, so what I'm going to do is go to File, Import, wavefront.obj, and now select my wig folder and open the wig.obj, just like that. And here's our wig. So if you want to see the texture of it, all you need to do, this is different if you are using a rig or not, but either in the top right or bottom right corner, you are going to find these 4 little circles. You are going to click this one right here to see the shading, and here is our wig and our character's head. So as you can see, this is kind of the air I'm talking about. I'm going to show you in a rendered view what it'll look like if you render. As you can see, it has these black lines in the hair, and we don't really want that because that's where the hair is supposed to be transparent. So I will be showing you guys how to fix that, and also showing you guys how to fix the transparent accessories if you are using cycles. So usually I tell people to use Eevee, but actually I use cycles now. But an error people have is that their hair and things will be transparent, but I will show you guys how to fix that right now. So we will be using the node editor, and I know this is kind of new, but pretty much this is the node setup we will be using. I will be showing you guys how to do exactly this, and this is what makes the hair transparent. How you open the node editor, you are going to go down here, and where you can see this little clock and stuff, there's this little line right here, this gray line dividing. You're just going to drag this up, and then where it has this little clock, you're going to click that, and it'll open all these different options. We are going to use the shader editor. I believe that's what it's called in Blender 2.8. In Blender 2.79, I think it was called the node editor, but they changed it to shader editor now. I'm still used to calling it the node editor though, so that's what I call it. So first we will be fixing our transparent head, because as you can see, if we look what it'll look like if it's rendered, our head is transparent. That's not good. So this is a question I get a lot, so I will be showing you guys how to fix that. We will click the head, and it'll open all these different nodes down here. It'll open these 4 different nodes. I am just scrolling in with the scroll wheel on my mouse. So if we look at the nodes for the head and accessories, there are 4 different nodes here. So this is the output, this is the texture, and then right here is what's making it transparent, this node right here. So you are going to click this node, right click it and delete it, or you can hit X on your keyboard to delete it, and it'll be gone. And if we look in the rendered view, now our head is not transparent anymore. Now sometimes your character will have multiple textures, so if you click your head on the right side here, going down to the little circle down here, if you look right here in this box, sometimes there will be multiple textures like this, so you will have to go through and click each one and just delete that little node on the bottom, and that'll get rid of the transparency in all your character's head and accessories and all those things. Thankfully, we only had one texture this time, but just make sure to go down here on the right with this little circle and make sure you don't have multiple textures here, because you'll want to make sure to delete the transparency node on each of the textures. So we are going to be going into the hair and doing the same thing. As you can see, if we click the hair, you can see that there's a transparency node right here. We are going to be deleting that. And then as you can see in our node setup, we don't have this big green node there, so we are going to click that and delete it as well. And our hair turns black, but do not worry, we will be fixing it. What we need to do is reconnect this color to this material output, and that is what these nodes in the middle are going to be doing. We are just going to be replacing that big green node with these nodes to make the black parts of the hair transparent. So the nodes we need to add are a transparency node, a mix shader, and a diffuse node. And as you can see, we already have this orange one right here and this red one right here. So how you add nodes, you are going to hit Shift A on your keyboard and it'll give you this little drop down. I just use the search feature. So first we are going to look up transparency and it'll be transparent BSDF. Click that and it'll give you it on your mouse. You're just going to click and drop it towards the top. Next we will be adding our mix shader node. So we are going to use Shift A, search, mix shader right here, and just drag it to the middle side over here. And then finally we are going to go Shift A and search our diffuse right here, diffuse at BSDF, and drag this towards the bottom. Also, another way to add nodes other than Shift A is you can go to the top of the node editor right here and select add, and it'll give you the same list right here as when you use Shift A. Just like that. So you can choose whichever one you want to use, but now pretty much we are just going to be connecting the dots and connecting all these nodes. So let's go back and look at our reference photo. So the color on the orange node goes to the diffuse and then goes to the mix shader and right here. So we're just going to go slow and try and connect them all up. So let's look at mix shader first. So mix shader has shader connected to surface of the red node. So let's find our mix shader node and connect shader to surface. Next, let's look at our transparency node. Our transparent is connected to the first little shader on the mix shader. So we are going to take this right here, the BSDF, and connect it to the first shader box right here. Okay, now let's look at our diffuse BSDF. The BSDF on the right side is connected to the bottom of the mix shader, so we are going to connect that just like this. And finally, let's look at our orange image node, I guess. It's our image texture pretty much. So right here it shows the color of the image texture is connected to the diffuse BSDF, so we are going to be connecting that. So take color to the color of the diffuse node. And finally, the alpha of the image node is connected to the FAC of the mix shader. So we're going to take alpha to the FAC, and there we go. Now, if we go into rendered mode, as you can see, the hair is transparent now. I was kind of worried for a second when we were in textured mode. It still looks black. If you go to the top or bottom right corner of Blender, depending if you're using a rig or not, again, you will have these 4 circles. You can click this last circle right here to look what it'll look like when you render. As you can see, the hair is transparent now. So if we give this a render really quick, I am just going to use my camera and line it up really quick so I can show you guys a render. All you need to do is make sure your camera is lined up and then go to render at the top, render image. I will just show you guys really quick. Renders sometimes take a while, so I set my samples pretty low. But as you can see, as it renders, the hair is transparent. So now you don't have those black lines through it, and now you are able to add a wig to your Roblox GFX. So that is pretty much it for this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know down in the comments below. I try to answer every single comment, so please let me know if you have any questions, and I would love to help out. If this video was helpful, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and maybe even share it with your other GFX making friends that would find it helpful. And if you have not yet, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss any future notifications for my channel. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.